right, so excited to talk about our corporate update tonight. I am TW Dawson. I am the CCO of PunkPanda. We have I want to say a star-studded lineup for you tonight. We have none other than the marvelous Marcus, who is the guy that's the mastermind of all this. We have our favorite CEO tonight, Albert Mirror. We have some people coming in from the Telegram group who's going to talk about some things. And myself, again, TW Dawson. And right now, Marcus, why don't you just set us off right now while people are coming in and get us going. We want to make this short and sweet, get to the point. Let's go.
Fantastic, TW. Thanks very much for that great introduction. Marcus Schubert coming to you here from the Gold Coast. And you know what, we do have a great update. I was actually thinking a few days ago, listen, we've got a fair bit of stuff that's been in process, but not too much to make as announcements. But I was fortunate as a child to grow up the son of a farmer, and I saw the value of having great panda preparation and following a great panda process, because before you can have production, before you can have a harvest, you need to make sure that you've got the preparation of the soil. You've got to have the process to get rid of the weeds. You got to put the fertilizer on, and then you let the sunshine do its job. So we're in a place where we're about to move into some big sunshine. We're not quite there, but we will be literally in the blink of an eye. So what I want to do is share the PowerPoint. We're going to start to move through that, give you some of these updates, let you know where we are, and then we're going to move into some of our guest speakers for this evening. You guys are in for an absolute treat. So today, what we are going to go through is the Panda app, the 2.0 update, where that's at. We're going to talk about some new support documents, the Pancake Listing, the marketing that's in preparation for that, the Panda 11 update, and we're going to reveal to you some of the new pandas, in fact, all of the new pandas and how they look. So we're excited to share those with you. So the token pre-sale, as most of you know, we started 29th of October at 10 cents. We sold through the 10 million pre-allocated, pre-minted tokens that pushed the token through to $1. Then we realized, you know what, nobody's waiting for this token to be listed to buy it. So we better actually do some marketing to create an audience outside of our community. So we've now kicked into the extended pre-sale. The token is now pushing $1.10, which is quite remarkable. And the accounts on PunkPandaFarm, over 85,000 accounts, people who are wanting to buy tokens in there. Now, a bit of perspective, as I always show, October 29th, when we started this pre-sale, Bitcoin was 62,000 US dollars. If it had have gone up tenfold, like we have, it would be at 600,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. So congratulations to those of you who have purchased tokens through the pre-sale. Of course, PandaApp going from beta to Bentley, that is, in my mind, the most exciting step for us as a project. A lot of people are waiting on the listing, but actually to me, that's not the most exciting part. That's something that's going to happen as part of the process. But, you know, our community is going to continue to explode when we get this second version of the app out the door. We're now at over 430,000 users of the app, which is quite remarkable that we've been able to grow to that size in 90 days with a beta version of the app, which we all know has some challenges and some issues. The exciting news on the Panda app is that we're actually making a submission to Apple actually tomorrow. So it'll be Saturday for us here in Australia, Friday for those of you guys in the US, and different markets around the world. So, and we would just want to be open and transparent. We haven't actually been waiting on any development side from the app. We're actually waiting to take full control of the development company to upload the Apple submission, which there was some developers from the past app and a past project, and we wanted to make sure we had 100% access and control and ownership of that before we uploaded the new app. So that's what's held us back a few days as far as getting that going. So what we'll do is on the corporate call next week, we will tell you the exact date for releasing the new app. Now, there's a good chance that we may actually shut the app down even before the corporate call next week. If we haven't by then, we'll tell you when we're going to do it. And we're going to need to do that for maybe 3 to 5 days because we've got such an intense number of records that we need to transfer over with moving the database from the beta app to the new app. So that will require us to shut the app down for 3 to 5 days. So if that's going to happen before the call, this time next week, we'll put a message into the Telegram group and into the news channel to let you know that we're shutting the app down for a period of time. When that happens, don't be concerned. You should be excited, because that means we're literally in the transition from beta to the Bentley. Now, another exciting thing that's happened in the background that you guys can't see, but you will see in the coming weeks, is we've got 2 new partnerships who are bringing on significant databases. And we don't know the exact number just yet, but I can tell you it's in the 6 figures, both of them. So what I would be suggesting to you is that even though we have these challenges with the beta app right now, you might want to persist with it, because there will never be a more productive time to earn PPM tokens from using and sharing the app. Once we go from 400,000 to 1 million users, we're now sharing those rewards with twice as many people. All right, so now is the biggest time to get rewards for your effort for using and sharing this app. Now, I know, Albert, you've come in and joined us from the Philippines, but I know you've got a bad connection. So maybe just you want to test out and see if there's anything you just want to touch on in relation to these new partnerships and how productive this time is right now. And then we'll keep moving. You might have to unmute yourself, Albert. No, you might have dropped.
Marcus, I mean, it's so bad. Marcus, you're going to have to continue on without me. The internet here is so bad, buddy. Just continue on without me.
Okay, no worries, Albert. Thanks, mate. So I want to move on to the next topic, which is our Telegram community. And I want to, I guess, not only give some recognition, but some updates about, how that's been improving. So we've now got the Telegram rules that are pinned at the top. So when people come in at any time, they can go and read those. We've instituted a Telegram bot called Rose. And Rose has been phenomenal, really. And I'm going to introduce you to the gentleman who's made that happen by the name of Ronye in just a second. So Ronye, if you want to unmute your mic and just get yourself ready. But, I took a screenshot of the last 7 days, and you see Rose has put 346 messages in there. And of course, the superstar admin moderator, Lara, 306. But to give you some perspective, the week before, Lara, instead of doing 300 messages, had to do almost double that amount because there's no bot. And you can see myself, 264 messages down to 98. So Rose is really doing some incredible work in there and providing heavy lifting and consistency. And, when Rose sees a new person come into the room, there's an automatic welcome message, which looks like this. It's got the pandas there, it's got a welcome, and it's got the 3 most commonly needed links for a new person, which is a frequently asked questions, the most recent corporate update, and then a link to all of the official corporate presentations. So with that, I want to introduce Ronye, who's, I guess, put Rose into the mix, and let us know, what you've been doing here and what some of the other features are that Rose performs for the Telegram group.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you're live.
Awesome. How's it going, everybody? Like Marcus was saying, I'm Ronnie Ross. So basically, I came into the team introducing a better form of communication for us going forward in form of a Discord server. That's in the works right now, but in the meantime, we decided to add some automation to the Telegram group, which would basically kind of take a load off of the current admin. I think at the time when I joined, it was just Stephanie and maybe one other person that was the admin of the group. So there were a lot of questions being asked that the answers are provided inside the documentation. But some people, when they join, they're so excited. They see a Telegram group, they just join and they start asking questions. So the main purpose of Rose is basically to act as like a kind of quick start guide for people when they're joining the group. It's to kind of stop them, say, hey, I know you're excited, but go through these links and you'll learn more about the project than just firing off questions one by one. So like you see on the screen here with the welcome message, each person that comes in, Rose welcomes them by name. It has the fact document, which has literally everything people need to know about the project. The key thing with this is, even though it's for the people that are being welcomed into the group, all the people who were formerly in the group also, they can still see that message and they'll click on that and get that information as well. So it kind of acts as a reminder for previous members to get that information as well. And then of course we have the corporate updates, which again, a lot of the information can be answered there that people have about recent changes, things that are coming up, so they can just watch a quick video and learn about that. And then of course you have official links, which includes the social media and things of that nature. If I could, I just kind of want to share my screen so I can show a little bit of the features of Rose.
Yeah, go ahead. You should be able to share.
All right. Starting now. Okay, so let me go into the Telegram. All right, so basically this is like the control center for Rose. And so this is where she's pretty much programmed. So you can see here we have the options to basically add a lot of automation here. The main ones we're using right now are the filters, which is whenever somebody mentions a word. So let's say somebody wants to know this new one I just added, price. They'll say, what's the price of ppm? And then Rose will automatically respond, token is not listed and can only be bought at the farm. Log into your account at PunkPandaFarm.com to see the current price. So there's different canned responses like that that will show up automatically, and that kind of helps the admin team so that they don't have to be answering these kind of questions around the clock. So the filters is one huge important part. Then we also have our warning system, which we have, people that come in and they may speak other languages. We'll let them know that this is an English only Telegram group, and they will receive a warning for that. For any like infraction, quote unquote, there's usually 3 strikes and then you will be banned from the group. So it's important to make sure that you read those rules when you come in or when you're inviting people in so that they can stay in the community and not have to deal with that consequence. But other than that,
That's fantastic.
I will turn it back over to Marcus.
Fantastic. Ronye, thanks so much for sharing that with everybody. I'm so excited that that's put in place. Not only helps the admins, it helps new people, it helps the existing community, and it certainly makes us a lot more professional and efficient as well. So let's get the presentation back up and keep on moving here. Okay. So, as part of this, the frequently asked questions, I wanted to really put out a thank you, not just to Ronye, but also to Lara and also Claudia, who helped to really initiate that. There's 30-something different questions in that document. If you haven't looked through there, have a look through there, because you might actually learn something that you didn't know about the project. And an interesting part of building an organization, whether it's from the company side or whether it's from your own perspective in the field, is that a lot of leaders decide they like to be the expert, but then they find themselves in a position where they cannot move away or step away from the business. So an important thing to do if you are in a leadership position or if you're wanting to get yourself to that place is, yes, you need to be educated and knowledgeable. You need to be credible. You need to be there to support your team. But ultimately, the best way to establish leadership is to have a process in place where you can get to the point where you make yourself unimportant. All right. It's almost like being a parent. If your kids are relying on you to tie up their shoelaces for them when they're 35 years old and they don't know how to cook, they don't know how to, do their washing, they don't know how to make money, all you've done is made them dependent on you. And you've made yourself into a position where you can never step out and do something for yourself. So when we have these tools and you know what the content is that's within those tools, instead of just answering the question, you can refer people to that document. And then you start to teach them where to find the answers. And when they know where those answers are, they stop coming to you because they realize that, number one, Marcus doesn't answer my damn questions. And number two, when he does answer, all he says is, go and look at this document. And that's really what you want to do if you're wanting to build a large organization. Now, the wrong sponsor form for the app, hopefully it's not too much longer needed, but those people who are finding that you've introduced somebody to the app and they've been put under the wrong sponsor, make sure you submit the information through this wrong sponsor link, all right, which is within these official links here. Rather than sending a support email, it's a much faster way to do it. And on top of that, the formatting in the way that you'll send it is exactly what the text needs to complete those moves. So with that, I want to actually pass over to TW. I know that you've been managing a lot of this, and I just want anything that you want to share regarding not only the wrong sponsor form, but maybe some observations you've made in the information that you're getting coming in from the support emails. TW, will need to unmute yourself.
Yes.
There you are.
Thank you, Marcus. Well, one of the things that I realized is that the support emails, a lot of people are asking regular questions that can be found, guess where? In a Telegram group, right? In the frequently asked questions and documents. A lot of people feel the need to enter into a project and then want us to educate them on the project that they entered. Doesn't go that way. So I just want to give everybody a personal responsibility that it is your responsibility to educate yourself on the project. So asking 1,000 questions in a Telegram or even in support is tech support. So a lot of times those questions go unanswered because they're not technical questions. So I just want people to have an idea that there's a personal responsibility that we don't owe you to educate you on something that you invest in, or if you invest your time, whether it be your money, whatever it is that you invested in PunkPanda, it is still your obligation to do so as far as getting your understanding. And the other thing is email verifications. A lot of people are sending email verifications through. We needed that done at one point. Now that process is done. So we have what we need as far as that. So you don't have to send those through support anymore. And I want to echo what Marcus said just a little while ago, is that the best way to get sponsor moves is not to go through support, but go through the links. Those links are designed specifically to get that task done. So when you go through support, if it's something other than that, with the farm or with some technical things with the apps, those things are obviously things that tech will handle. But the other thing is this right here. We know that we have a lot of bugs, a lot of different things that's happening with the app, but at the same time, know that most of these things will be solved coming up in the next week or two. So just be patient, and we're working hard as we can to be updated with those support tickets and those sponsor tickets, and we're doing all we can right now. And hopefully we'll have an announcement next week that will make us one step closer to getting that 2.0. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you, TW, and not hopefully, absolutely, we'll have an announcement next week for the 2.0 app. No problem at all. Panda 11s continue to move forward. Those people who want to have a play around with it, they can do. But as mentioned, until it's 100% ready to go, then we won't be answering any questions or educating the community about it in the Telegram group. We've got the ESPN feeds. We're launching with cricket, basketball, soccer. Then phase 2 will add NFL, the National Hockey League, and IPL cricket, which is the International Premier League or the Indian Premier League. Legal documents all approved for Facebook, Google, Instagram. Over 15,000 members already registered for that. And in fact, we're uploading to iOS as well this weekend, Panda 11. So we're saying approval within 2 weeks. We don't control how long before Apple approves it. It could be a lot sooner. If it is, we'll absolutely let you know. And as part of our contract with the developers, 1 million members will be onboarded within 100 days of the iOS approval. So we're looking at by June having 1 million people who are not necessarily coming from our existing community. These are people who are sports fantasy fans. They'll be coming into Panda 11. They'll need to actually switch their Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB over to PPM tokens to be able to play the matches. So that's going to create a huge utility case for our token ongoing. And it's just going to grow more and more and more as more and more people are using that token within the Panda 11 app. Now, we want to now hand over to one of our speakers here, which I'm excited about. It's not Craig Tortolani. Craig's introduced us to Jedi Josh, who's actually on the call today. And Josh has really been, I guess, the point person navigating us, advising us, getting the right people together for the Panda Blitz marketing campaign that's coming up and anticipation for the listing. So Josh, do we have you on? If you can unmute yourself, please. Yep. Marcus, can you all hear me? Yes, I can, sir. So Josh, I would love for you to share, for those who maybe haven't heard from you, just a small version of your background and who you are, and you know, what things we're doing in anticipation of the token listing. And I know we don't have a specific timing for the listing, but maybe give a little bit of a reflection on how that might look from your side at this point.
Sure. Just to give everybody a little background about myself, I started in the blockchain space in around 2010. I was one of the lucky few who kind of stumbled across the white paper in 2009, was able to get into crypto very early on, and actually work within the space professionally, although the industry has only really existed for only about half a decade at this point. So I've worked in blockchain consulting the majority of the time. I've consulted companies like SoftBank, Crypto.com was one of my biggest clients. I helped get their launch strategy here in the US. I've also worked with Paxful, which is the second largest exchange in the world, and really just helped companies that are both trying to break into the space and that are also existing or established companies within blockchain. So I like to say that I've faced pretty much every kind of problem and have found the solutions for it at this point, just because I'm one of the few folks who's been in the space for 10 years now. And one of the biggest challenges that a lot of these projects face is not necessarily development at this point. The community of developers has grown pretty strong in blockchain, and it's not always design either, right? What the main challenge that a lot of folks find when they're launching a project is marketing, right? And getting the word out. Now, this is something that PunkPanda, I think, has really differentiated itself with, because this community is massive, right? And it has grown virally. One of the things that really stood out to me when I joined this project is that the user acquisition, the community growth, and the excitement here was, I mean, totally beyond anything that I'd already seen in the past from different companies that I've worked with. To put it into perspective for the folks on the call, about a couple weeks ago, I came back from Spain. I signed a 3-year, $35 million deal, the Spanish Soccer League, right? For a company where I'm the chief innovation officer called Divi Project. That company only has tens of thousands of users. PunkPanda has over 400,000, and it has done it in very little time with very little promotion. And I think that really speaks a lot about the community and the excitement and the branding and the success of those things here, you know, in terms of growing the community, in terms of getting folks excited, and in terms of the possibilities. I think it's not a surprise to me that folks have really gotten on board, because the potential here is so great, right? But that being said, it's also really important that we take that growth and capitalize on it, because our biggest asset here at PunkPanda is the community, right? This community is exceptionally large, and we want to really make sure that we have a lot of involvement from the community. And part of that is making sure that we have a really good established social media presence. We want community members to help grow this, but we also want to give them exciting things to share, right? And so we want to make sure that we're giving you all, you know, really exciting messaging, really beautiful designs, really fun 3D animations. And so one of the things that we're working on right now over the next couple of weeks is revamping the website, right? I love the website that we have right now, but I want to put it into the decentralized finance crypto space. I want to bring the latest and greatest of cryptocurrency and integrate it with what we currently have here, so that we can give folks a greater value by being able to stake in a decentralized way, be able to earn through their MetaMask wallets, through their crypto wallets, and then more importantly, be able to swap really easily. You know, I know that there's a lot of folks in here, a lot of Panda pals that aren't necessarily from the crypto space. And so we want to create a greater value for everyone here by helping them kind of break into the space in a really easy to use and accessible way. So a couple of the strategies that we're integrating for the site is a native swap, right? Some of you may be familiar with Pancake Swap. We're bringing the power of Pancake Swap into the PunkPanda website, right? So PunkPandaFarm is going to have the same swapping features that Pancake Swap is going to have, but it's also going to give you a really great tutorial on how to do so. We want to create really good educational content so that the people here that are already earning the PPM tokens are also able to take those tokens and learn something new, right? We want to be a really good bridge from the traditional space of earning into the crypto space of swapping and yielding and staking. And so that's really important to us, as well as giving the broader crypto community that sense of legitimacy, right? Making sure that we are an established brand that is actually presentable and postured just like any other big cryptocurrency project. It's really important that we maintain a kind of image that shows that we have the expertise here and that we have a very promising project to those that aren't necessarily familiar with the app, right? Or the current PunkPanda community. So that being said, we are going to be spending a good amount of time just developing a rebrand. We're still sticking to the awesome pandas that you know and love. We want to make sure that we're kind of taking that and really taking it a step further. So one of those things that I briefly mentioned is we are going to be working on animating the pandas, right? Which is a really, really exciting thing because I already love the pandas. The redesign one looked amazing. And some of you will see those redesigned pandas very soon. But having the animations and having them as part of the post that we're doing is going to give the community something super exciting to share. There are not many built from scratch 3D animations in the crypto space. And one of the teams that we work with is uniquely skilled at that. And we want to capitalize on that to really differentiate ourselves and show the attention to detail that we have for this project. And then beyond that, we are going to be working with an external agency group that is really focused on the distribution channels of crypto marketing. So one of the things that I've learned in the past 10 years working in crypto is that you can't really market in crypto the way that you can in traditional spaces, right? Most products, you can market them on Facebook or Google Ads, you can run TV promotions for them. But what's really challenging is for a long time, those avenues of promoting haven't really been accessible within the crypto industry, right? And then the other piece is that crypto as a community is something that grows organically. It's not something that you run a TV advertisement on, right? It's something that happens word of mouth. It's something that happens through, engagement of folks who really care about something. And so when you look at it as a, as a different kind of a product, right? In the sense that you can't really market it in this traditional way, what you have to turn to is the guerrilla marketing. And guerrilla marketing basically means the organic, kind of direct marketing that you experience on forums, for instance, or that you would experience in different Telegram groups, right? So that being said, one of the groups that we're going to be working with specifically is specialized in this, right? So our strategy, or broader strategy for the marketing that I'm going to be handling with my internal team and the external agency goes as the following. So we're going to be developing really amazing, high quality content and high quality messaging, right? So that we can share that with you all and that you can spread it with your friends, share more about the project. And then the second piece of that is working with an external agency that can help us distribute this content virally, right? Outside of the existing community that we have here. I want to go ahead and share my screen and show you all some examples of the case studies that this agency IBC group has done for other projects. I've worked with them in the past. They are phenomenal. One of their most successful case studies turned $600,000 worth of tokens into $20 million, right? And this was about over the course of a week from the launch. So it's really important, right, that when we launch, we only have that one opportunity to launch and that we make sure we knock it out of the park. So I'm going to share my screen here for a moment and share with you all some of the different case studies here, right? So if we look here, you can actually see the point at which IBC Group started to do some of their promotions, right? Here we have 132% gain, 350% gain. Here's 180, 770. This is a 3,500% gain and a 12,000% gain. Now, why are they able to reach these results? Why couldn't we necessarily have access to the same kind of results? Well, part of it is that there are channels within the marketing space or the crypto space that are very exclusive. So for instance, if we think about Reddit, right? Reddit has channels that are very high traffic, Wall Street bets, all these different kinds of crypto communities that are really exclusive, right? And that you have to have established relationships to be able to do promotion on them. And so IBC Group has a unique positioning because they have mods in all these different channels, and they can get our messaging in front of more eyeballs and a broader audience that we necessarily won't be able to have access to ourselves. So that's a good example of, what we're looking to accomplish here, right? We want to take really good messaging, super great content, something that the community can share, but also that this agency can share and help give us explosive growth. And then while we're doing that, we are going to be releasing sneak peeks of the new website. I actually showed Marcus and Albert one of the latest prototypes of the new site. They loved it. I was stunned by it. It looks beautiful. It's a completely redesigned version of the existing site for PunkPandaFarm. we are going to be posting little teasers, little sneak peeks at that, so the community can see the progress that we're making along the way, and so that all of you can understand why we are strategically delaying the launch of that token, so that we can drive the most amount of value to that launch. It's really important to us that the community get the most out of this, right? But in order to do that, we have to do it right. We can't rush the process. I've had experience launching tokens before, and it's really important that we have a significant promotion prior to the launch, as well as for some time after the launch, right? And so we know we had a much earlier initial tentative release date. We're probably going to be pushing our marketing into March, but that's only going to really, what that's going to do is it's going to multiply, right, the audience that we're going to be able to access, and the demand for this awesome community. And so if anyone has any questions, please feel free to engage in the chat here. I'll pass it back to Marcus, but I'll do my best to answer questions in the chat if anyone has anything.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Josh. And, we're so fortunate to have Josh on board. He is arguably one of the top 5 DeFi project advisors in the entire world. So I'm not going to put him on the spot, but I'm going to try and trick him into getting onto our white paper as well, since, he's already putting his face out there and working with us as an advisor. So you don't have to answer right now. I'll give you 5 seconds, Josh. What do you think?
Oh, I'm in. I mean,
You saw it here first. What? I think you're muted. Sorry, Josh. You just got muted.
Yeah, I said this the other day, and I really, truly believe that this project is a unicorn, and this community is unlike any other that I've ever come across before. So I'm here to the bitter end.
Wow, that's fantastic. This is literally live news, everybody. Josh, thank you so much for your confidence in the project.
Absolutely.
You're doing. And I'm sorry I muted you, because just after you said yes, I muted you, so you couldn't say no. All right. All right, let's get back into this. This stuff is super exciting. I hope everybody understands the magnitude of what Josh is doing and what he's just shared with you. So ultimately, we're targeting March for the launch, which is in line with what we've said in our white paper as Q1 of 2022. We've literally doubled our marketing budget. We had a pretty healthy one already, but when we sat and listened to Josh and we said, listen, we can do it good, or we can just knock it out of the park. We had the budget to do it, and we said, listen, if this was your company, Josh, what would you do? He explained to us what he would do, why, and what sort of a budget. And we said, okay, absolutely, we're in. So that's what we're doing. We're putting out a simple message of not just why to buy the PPM token, but we're going to simplify that message and talk about, instead of having, 6 different products, which of course we do and we will, but from a marketing perspective, we're offering encrypted communications, and we're offering crypto sports fantasy. So you'll see that in the new pitch deck as we bring that forward. Marketing materials, we're literally creating them now. The redesign on the PunkPandaFarm, as Josh mentioned, it looks phenomenal. And again, the contract address, we will not be giving that out until after listing. We do not want people rushing over to Pancake and setting up fake liquidity pools and having people stuck in there where they're compromised. Obviously, how to buy and sell videos, we'll put them together so that people know how to buy, sell, and how to swap their tokens. And again, we'll list when we're ready and when the time is right. Now, I just wanted to share a little bit of a sneak peek here. This is the new pandas. You guys have seen some of these, but this is the whole new panda family. And if you can draw a parallel between the quality and the look of the existing pandas and how these images look, that's kind of what's going to happen to the PunkPandaFarm website as far as the next level. I mean, look at the quality and the detail. If you have these images, once we push them out, you can zoom in and see the individual hairs on the panda faces. They're unbelievable. So we hope you guys are excited. Sometimes you don't see things that come out to the community that you can use or you feel make a difference, but that does not mean that there are not incredible things and important things happening in the background of this project. So that's pretty much the update for today. Next 30 to 60 days, of course, Panda Play getting onto iOS and Android. The public marketing is going to start. You'll see that happening over the coming weeks, leading up to the listing on Pancake, and the PandaApp 2.0 we will absolutely have the date for that by this time next week when we do our corporate update. And it's possible that even the app might have even been shut down before our corporate call next week. And if that does happen, just understand it's going to be shut down for 3 to 5 days while we do the database transition. That's also where we'll be integrating a couple of brand new databases, which are significant. And when it comes out of that, the new app will be ready to start using. So with that, we want to say thank you. Thank you to all of our speakers. And maybe what we'll do is we'll open up for everybody just to say your name, the country where you actually logged in from, and we'll call it a wrap for today. Thanks again to Josh, to TW, Ronye, and also Albert, who chimed in there just quickly from the Philippines. So over to you, TW, to round out the call for tonight. You're on mute, I think, sir.
Thank you, Marcus. As again, we have another spectacular corporate update, and I am so excited about all the things that we're talked about tonight. And if you guys have not taken the time to really understand what Josh was talking about, I want you to go back and watch the video, listen to what he said, because those are the most important things. See, all the pandas and excitement and the tokens and the PPMs and all of those things are exciting. But when you start talking about strategically marketing this to an audience bigger than us, it's going to add value to what we have possession of right now. Right now, we have something that's very special, and we can, like you said, we can dabble with it, or we can knock it out of the park. I want to thank the corporate team, everybody who was on the call tonight. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Albert, for being here. Thank you, Josh, Ryan. Thank you, all the Panda family. Unmute yourself right now and just say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Great night.
So happy to be a part of this.
Yo, PunkPanda.
From India.
Marcus.
Thank you.
God bless.
Good night from DP.
There's going to be other crises, like financial crisis, food crisis. So we as a community, what we're going to do about it, right? So for me and Muslim, we are doing that right now. We are looking to find
everyone.
Thank you.
Hey, good night.
Let's do this.
Financial freedom with PunkPanda.
PunkPanda.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Great job, everybody. Thank you.